Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Between the Ropes here on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. I am your host. My name is Kristie Wilson. And yes, I am in mourning, as you can see from the shirt. I'll get to that at a certain point when I feel ready to talk about it. But there we go. There you see everything on the ticker. You can follow BTR on social media here. You can also, if you want to check out more ETB content, you of course can go to youtube.com/ETB network. You can find out all that good stuff, including, you can check out, of course, coming up tonight, the ETB Lounge with Nick DiMartino. It's going to be very funny, as I think so. I think it's going to be hilarious. Absolutely effing hilarious. That is a definite fact right there. So we're going to get to something. I'm going to do something. I don't do it all the time. So here we go, which is I'm going to do first ever major shout out. Yes, it is going to the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Now, if you've read this, he is a TNA legend. I've said he's guaranteed to go into 2 Halls of Fame, the TNA Hall of Fame and the WWE Hall of Fame. Well, here's the thing. Next week, January 15th, on TNA Thursday Night Impact's first official debut episode on AMC, AJ's going to be there. And I am so stoked about that because let's face it, I know there are TNA fans that absolutely, positively love this guy. I know he's going to end his career with WWE, but TNA is where he first made his name. That's probably home for him. So shout out AJ Styles. Thank you, Phenomenal One, coming to kind of kick off the AMC era for TNA. So thank you. Now I'm going to get to the big one right here. Was huge, at least for me. This came on pretty late at night. This was last week. New Japan Pro Wrestling's version of WrestleMania, Wrestle Kingdom. Yes, the I unfortunately is a capital letter. I don't know why I did that. I guess when I was doing the banners, I didn't slow down, but that's my fault, not anyone else's. So there is there's all that. But Wrestle Kingdom was pretty amazing. Excuse me. But Wrestle Kingdom overall, really, really good show. Some big, big matches on the card. 2 of them really stood out to me. One was the never open weight championship between Evil. For all of you who don't know anything about pro wrestling, yes, there is a wrestler whose ring name is Evil. Don't ask me why. I don't come up with this stuff. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but he put that never open weight championship on the line against a newcomer by the name of Aaron Wolf, and this was back and forth. I mean, Aaron Wolf, for someone who's just getting himself started in pro wrestling after coming from an amateur background, he's really, I think he did great against such an established veteran like Evil, who has, done a lot of stuff in his career, achieved a lot in his career in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But Aaron Wolf held his own, and Aaron Wolf, as you knew, never open weight champion. Great job by the upstart. I think he's got really good skills. Don't know what he's like on the mic, but that's something he can work on. The more he keeps working in the dojos and New Japan Pro Wrestling's dojos and everything like that. So I think he's on his way up, and to win a title match in the big event that New Japan, which is New Japan's version of WrestleMania, this is huge for him. So I think clearly that company sees something special in him because they strap the rocket to him. I think he's going to win more championships before he makes the decision of whether or not he wants to come to the United States and kind of test himself in either WWE or AEW or TNA. We'll see what happens, but I have pretty high hopes for him. I really do. I think he's got potential, and I think he's going to be fantastic. I think he's going to do very, very well. The next one here is a recap NXT. Oh, and I forgot something. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go back to this one. There was one more match that stood out. I went on and on about Aaron Wolf, the new never openweight champion, for a little too long. So I'm sorry, but I now got to go back to this one now. The big, big match on the card. This was the main event, was the final match for the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi, going up against an old friend, an old rival, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Didn't come with anyone from the Don Callis family, just him. And they had an incredible, incredible match. Yeah, Okada won. But if you saw what happened after the match, so many people, I think Okada showed Tanahashi respect. You had Kenny Omega, Tanahashi's had multiple matches with over uh, that time period in New Japan. Kenny Omega came out to show Tanahashi respect. Will Ospreay was there. Jay White, um, Shibata from the Ops came in. I mean, they started having a fun little brawl, but it was all in good fun. So Tanahashi leaves behind an incredible, incredible legacy in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know he's doing front office stuff now, so now he's going to fully transition to that full time. But if any of you want to know, how do I know about Hiroshi Tanahashi? He came to AEW. He was supposed to fight CM Punk in 2022 after Punk won the AEW World Title from Hangman and Page of Double or Nothing, and Forbidden Door was coming up. So Punk wanted to know who his opponent was, and Tanahashi came out, and I was very surprised because I had heard his name. I didn't know much about him because New Japan Pro Wrestling is I don't follow it very closely. I know a lot. There are plenty of people out there who do. I know a few who do. And then when Punk got hurt and John Moxley was the interim champion, he'd always wanted a match against Tanahashi, and he got it at Forbidden Door. And I actually thought it was not a bad match. I know Tanahashi is older. I've heard people tell me, well, his knees are shot. There's nothing left for him. But it was he and Okada had a really good match. And Tanahashi got so much respect because he's the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's who he is. That's who he always will be. So thank you, Mr. Hiroshi Tanahashi. Thank you. Let's recap New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom. All right. Now going back to this one. NXT New Year's Evil was unpredictable and just flat out weirded me out. And one of the big matches, what was supposed to be a title match between Blake Monroe and Thea Hale to kind of settle the whole women's North American title. I guess you could call it a dispute. I guess I don't know what the heck you would call it if I'm being honest with you. It turned into, I guess, the evil side of Blake Monroe came out, and holy shit, she attacked Thea Hale to where Ava, the GM, had to ban her from the building. And ironically, poor Thea decided to go and defend this title anyway by issuing an open challenge. Almost the majority of the women's locker room came out, including Tatum Paxley, who earlier in the show beat Izzy Dame in a heck of a match, came out with a chainsaw. But Izzy, I guess, despite losing to Tatum, decided to have the last laugh. She accepted the open challenge, and now Izzy Dame is the women's North American title. But I think that will cause Tatum Paxley to be seeing red, no pun intended. Is now, I think that's another reason for Tatum to kind of get revenge on Izzy. There's that. The big headline coming out of this, and this kind of surprised me as well. Obafemi beat TNA X Division champion Leon Slater, one of the rising stars in this business. I mean, this dude is fantastic. I mean, this guy, holy crap, so good. But Obafemi retained. And if you watch the last segment of this episode of NXT, the special episode of NXT, Obafemi vacated the championship. He left the belt in the middle of the ring. And that's left everyone confused, at least. But for anyone who has, ironically, anyone who knows this sort of thing way more than me, when you see something like that, clearly that means Obafemi's going to the main roster. That's people like me have been calling for him to go to the main roster for a while. He's clearly ready. If you watch that Saturday night's main event match between him and Cody Rhodes, that clearly showed you Obafemi could hold his own against anybody, even a main roster star like Cody. He can do it. But it looks as though that was the whole thing, was just, and this was Femi's second reign with this championship. Should he have lost the title, then go to the main roster? That sounds practical, but oh, excuse me, please. That isn't what happened. So this coming Tuesday, Ava's going to address this. I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know if she's going to do, like, say, do a couple of weeks of qualifying matches leading up to NXT Vengeance Day to determine the kind of match you would want to do for that championship. Or you do, I don't think you have enough time. I think it might have enough time for a tournament. Because let me see, I'm going to take a wild guess here on when New Year's Vengeance Day will. Looks like it's going to be actually on Valentine's Day. I'm not sure if anyone out there knows when Vengeance Day is going to happen. Leave it in the comments if you're watching me on YouTube or anything like that, just so you know if you want to know. Right there. But looks like I said, looks like Ava is gonna have to think of something because NXT is now without a champion. So you got to think of something real. And then hopefully on Tuesday, whatever announcement she makes, it's the right decision because let's face it, there has been a crap ton of rumors going around about potential call ups from a lot of NXT concerning a lot of NXT stars. If you watched SmackDown yesterday, Jordan Grace is officially a member of the SmackDown roster. That brand's women's division is a little thin. So there's not a lot for the two women's champions on that brand. Jade Cargill and Julia, they each don't have a high number of people they can defend their titles against. So there's that. But yeah, Jordan Grace going up there. There's been rumors Blake Monroe could go up to the main roster. JC Jane could go up to the main roster. I don't know about JC Jane. She's still the NXT Women's Champion. Or she could do what Obafemi did and then just put the title in the middle of the ring and say, I'm vacating it. But her character has an ego. It will not allow her to do that. So we'll see about all this other stuff that is going on with NXT, and this whatever Ava's decision is will probably be a topic I will cover on next week's show. So there's all that. This is the next thing. I don't know how many of you actually watched this whole Monday Night Raw Stranger Things crossover episode. If you were expecting anybody in the cast of that show to come up on Raw, I hate to say it, you're greatly disappointed because there wasn't anybody. I mean, Millie Bobby Brown was in there. Understandable. She's a married mother of one child. She wants to be with her baby and all that. I get that. Anyone else in the cast, like Finn Wolfhard or anyone else, they weren't there. And you know what? I think it should have been expected because who knows how busy these people are? Who knows if they're, with families, doing other like film projects, TV shows, that sort of thing. All I know is when Corey Graves came out and he was wearing the Hellfire Club shirt, I expected him to come out with an electric guitar and do Eddie playing Master of Puppets. But then again, I don't know if Corey Graves could play guitar. I have no clue. But it did start off with a bang. We have new women's tag team champions. It's Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. They teamed up. They had a purpose, common enemy in the Kabuki Warriors. So there you go. And it looks like they're going to have their first title defense against the former champs, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. So that is definitely going to be something. Javon Evans officially went to Monday Night Raw, signed his contract and everything. So that is definitely something for a anniversary episode, 1 year anniversary of Raw on Netflix. I gotta be honest, I liked the concept. I liked the idea. It just never really, I was just like, sure, it wasn't Brooklyn at Barclays Center in NYC. He did the whole upside down thing, which I thought was pretty cool. But, besides Corey Graves kind of getting into the spirit, and they had certain the things all over the set, like I don't know. Was I expecting Vecna to show up? Yeah, maybe. I mean, WWE has added supernatural elements to some of their shows, Raw, SmackDown, that sort of thing, for a long time. I mean, you've got kind of a supernatural thing going on with the Wyatt Six, but they're on SmackDown, so that's an entirely different thing. I think this was a good idea, but I don't know how honestly well it caught on. I'm not 100% sure if it did, but that's neither here nor there. But overall, not bad. I hated the segment I hated the most, Stephanie Vaquer coming out in the walking boot. Now, update on her, she is injured, but she's still good enough if she was badly injured, then Raquel Rodriguez wouldn't have come into the ring and attacked her and started stomping on the leg, Stephanie leg that was in that was in a walking boot. I know I'm taken away from everyone who's watching Rams Panthers on Fox right now. I'm sorry, but I gotta get this out. I hated that segment. It looks like that is who Stephanie is going to be focusing on in terms of a rivalry. I mean, I know there are others who probably would love a shot. Roxanne Perez would like to get in there. Liv Morgan would like to get in there. I mean, heck, even Asuka, Kairi Sane, if each decides to pursue singles gold away from being a tag team, yeah, I mean, feuds are endless for Stephanie on Raw. So we'll see about that. We'll definitely see about that. I would grade this kind of a C plus, B minus, C plus, kind of in between those two. But that's me. I don't know about anybody else. Just let me know in the comments, regardless of whether you're on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. Let me know. Next one, yeah, this is a guy I've roasted in the Roast a Wrestler segment and said he ain't shit. He still ain't shit. Let's be clear. Yeah, we can stop calling him a part timer because, like the banner says, Logan Paul signed a brand new full time contract with WWE. So he's going to be around way more often. We're going to have to deal with his annoying dumb face that I'd like to punch. But it's not just me saying it. It's not just me saying it. But yeah, he's part of the vision. He's going to be on WWE TV much more often. He's going to be at the pay-per-views, especially with the Royal Rumble coming up in Saudi Arabia and then Elimination Chamber in Chicago. We're going to see more Logan Paul. I mean, I think he's going to be literally everywhere to the point we're all going to be basically, we're all going to feel sick to our stomachs pretty much. I'm going to do that. But yeah, this is, to me, Logan Paul is a total ass joke. And I did say I wish I had had this sound effect. Well, I do. I'm looking for it right now. So this is what the vision inflicts on me.
Emotional damage. Emotional.
Yeah, emotional damage. That's one thing. There's so much here, but this is there you go. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to look for the one clip here because it describes the friggin' vision exactly how I see them to be. Here it is. I found it.
Clown show, clown show, clown show, clown show.
Our clown show, exactly. So I'm gonna have fun with those sound effects. I know I am. But yes, Logan Paul full-time WWE. Ugh. I dread it, but like anyone else, I'm gonna have to get used to it. Yeah, I'm gonna get into something here. I'm actually gonna flip things around here because this came up. I can't believe I actually enjoyed this a lot, but I did. I'm gonna kind of go out of order. Yes, if you were watching Twitch, you saw New York Giants running back Cam Scattaboo hosting a live stream playing WWE 2K25 to introduce the athletes that are going to be at Fanatics Fest July 16th to the 19th. And some of those, yeah, if you watch it, it's freaking hilarious. Scattaboo is a funny, funny guy. I don't like the fact he plays for the Giants, but you know what? It works. And besides two of his Giants teammates, Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors, coming to this event, we got some WWE superstars in the bunch. Stephanie Vaquer is going to be there, Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair, Charlotte. And he said her name exactly that way. I'm like, oh, okay. But Charlotte Flair's going to be there. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley going to be there. Hopefully they're still champs by then. I'd love to see pictures from Fanatics Fest of them with the belts, with them still holding those belts, which I think would be really freaking awesome. And you know, Becky Lynch is going to be there. Liv Morgan, main event, Jey Uso. He better be yeeting at this event like this. That would be really nice. You know, you pretty much, you know, you got, but then again, you got all the basketball players. You got old school players. You got Allen Iverson. You've got Patrick Ewing, Knicks legend Patrick Ewing, by the way. You got him. I'm sure a lot of other baseball fans are not going to like me saying this guy, Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers. But hey, New York, don't worry. You get Aaron Judge of the Yankees at Fanatics Fest. So there you go. It's going to be fantastic. If you are, CC Sabathia is going to be there too. More wrestlers. Randy Orton. I can't believe I didn't see his picture, and I happen to have saved the photo right here on my phone. Cody Rhodes going to be there. Yep. You got like Josh Hart, Carl Anthony Towns of the Knicks, Jalen Brunson of the Knicks. I loved the part of the live stream. Jalen Brunson comes out in the WWE T-shirt from. I don't know if it's still available on WWEshop.com or Fanatics, but yeah, we'll find out. I might check later. I don't know, but it's kind of cool. But yeah, it's going to be at the Jarvis Center in New York City. You can go to fanaticsfest.com, order tickets, that sort of thing. And it looks like I've seen pictures from last year. I think that I guess I can say last year's Fanatics Fest, and I was so envious. I wanted to be there, but I can't afford to go. I mean, I'll live vicariously through those of you who are going to go to Fanatics Fest and get to. Oh, excuse me. You get to meet the stars. I'm sure there are going to be more athletes announced as this goes on, because I'm sure, because last year's Fanatics Fest was so successful, they're probably going to ask more people to be there if they want to be there. So, yep, Fanatics Fest. It should be fun. And I wish I could be there. Sorry. Okay, get back to the serious stuff. Yeah. The drama involving Andrade is pretty much over. He is officially with AEW. He's officially a member of the Don Callis family, in addition to, as it relates to one of my first topics on Wrestle Kingdom, Andrade showed up as a member of the United Empire. So he's going to be going back and forth because of AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling having an excellent working relationship. The result of that is the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which is usually a heck of a lot of fun, because let's face it, you're either being introduced to wrestlers you didn't know were out there that are really good, or you're getting to meet people you've heard about, like Hiroshi Tanahashi, like I mentioned earlier. Like, I think even the Kanushka Okada got introduced to the to American fans through Forbidden Door, and now he's in AEW. I know he did some stuff with TNA. I think Will Ospreay did too. So there's all of that. But the drama involving Andrade, the non-compete clause in the contract, why he was released. I'm just glad he's now found himself a good landing spot for himself in AEW, and wants to take advantage of the excellent working relationship that company has with New Japan Pro Wrestling, because I really think it can be beneficial for everybody involved in all of this. So, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So there's all of that going on. So now I'm going to get to something like super serious here. And these are the kind of topics I'm not fond of doing it, but this one, I got to give mad props to Tom Albano for bringing this to my attention, because he put it in the chat, in our chat, BTR chat. And by the way, I forgot to give a shout out to Nico Campanelli. Hey, he was the one who let me know about the whole AJ Styles going to TNA, so he gets a shout out. But Tom Albano, my co-host on Football Forecast, he brought this to my attention. I would say I'm surprised. I don't think I am. The tweet I'm reading says a new class action lawsuit filed Thursday accuses WWE and ESPN of deceptive marketing practices with the move of PLEs to ESPN's direct-to-consumer streaming service. The complaint takes issue with how some fans who already get ESPN channels through cable or other providers were still required to pay an additional monthly fee to watch WWE events. The plaintiffs allege this contradicts marketing communications from both WWE and ESPN, which they claim suggested all existing ESPN subscribers would have access to the premium live events. I mean, this does scream greed. I mean, why would you really want to lie about that sort of thing? I mean, the other thing is, I just find it completely shocking that this sort of thing is happening. I mean, why? I mean, that is you basically ripping people off. That is pretty much what it really is, and that is how I feel about it. I mean, why? This seems to, I think, for me personally, it just seems to it's just the greediness involved in all of it. I just absolutely hate the fact that the fans are ultimately the ones, whether it's TKO engaging in price gouging or something like that. That's what gets to me a little bit. That's what really bothers me. I absolutely despise it more than anything. I feel like if you were a devoted ESPN customer, and I did watch ESPN for a lengthy period of time before, and I'm not going to get political because that is not the whole point of the show, is to talk about wrestling, talk about the news, talk about events that happened, certain headlines that come up, that sort of thing. I will, the politics, just no, absolutely not. If you are someone who pays for ESPN either through local cable or streaming platforms like Sling, or you do the ESPN app on its own or as part of a bundle with Disney Plus and Hulu, which I completely understand, then you are entitled, if you already had those before this whole thing started, then you are entitled to not pay extra money to watch a WWE pay-per-view event. So this is something, I don't know if this will go to trial, but shame, shame, shame. Another big thing happened. Yeah. I talked about Netflix mentioning Monday Night Raw, Stranger Things crossover episode. This is another big headline right here. Netflix, now the official home of WWE's PLE library. Now these are the premium live events before the whole thing with ESPN happened September 2025 with WrestlePalooza. It's every pay-per-view from before September, this past September. So you get to watch pretty much every Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. Let's say you can watch Survivor Series. You can watch, I mean, even the so-called Rumble that everyone wants you to forget about from 2004, and it's because of wrestler Chris Benoit. That's a topic I really don't want to, I don't ever want to talk about because I just personally do not feel comfortable with that. It's just me personally, it just makes me feel squeamish. But you can check out all of that stuff. You can check out SummerSlam. I mean, heck, you can even go back to like watch the 1992 SummerSlam, especially the match between Bret Hart and his then brother-in-law Davey Boy Smith for the Intercontinental Championship. So you can check all of that. I mean, heck, I think you can go all the way to WrestleMania 1 if you wanted to. I mean, my God, that would be something. I like that idea. I really do. So yeah, it's, I mean, yeah, is it fair you have to go behind a, they have to put them behind a paywall? If you're willing to pay, then go for it. Definitely go for it. But Netflix, does it feel like they're monopolizing? Yeah, probably. But they're working with WWE and all this stuff, all this programming and everything. How much more of the library is Netflix going to require in terms of like special episodes? I remember WWE 24, WWE 365. They already have WWE and Real, like I covered before in a previous episode, coming January 20th for a second season. So there's definitely a relationship building between WWE and Netflix, and it's just going to keep growing. That's just what I think is going to happen. Now, sorry. This is something I can't believe my roaster wrestler segment is coming up. And this was, I had an idea of who I wanted, but then something happened on Dynamite. So I switched it out. This is gonna make you laugh. Why is Orange Cassidy my wrestler of the week? Okay, this guy. I mean, yes, yeah, he's the traditional. Yeah, he's the guy puts his hands in his pockets, but underneath the so-called slow style sloth, like I guess you could say, doesn't give is this many fucks, zero fucks about a lot of things. Orange Cassidy is one hell of a incredible competitor in the ring. He's won championships in AEW. He was the international champion. I think he held it for a couple of reigns before everything starting that championship went just blah, 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 went crazy. So there's that. The other thing with him is I didn't know that boy had game. You know what I'm talking about. This past Wednesday at Dynamite, Tony Storm, Marina Shafir had a match. Tony Storm gets knocked out. Mina Shirakawa is Tony Storm's um, tag team partner in the Timeless Love Bombs. Comes in, gets hit in the boob, and oh god, Orange Cassidy, yeah, it took his time, and the next thing you know, this dude has both women, one on each arm. Orange Cassidy, I swear to God, sir, I did not know you had game. I really did. I know in real life Tony Storm is married to Juice Robinson. As for Mina Shirakawa's love life, I don't know anything about that. That's probably none of my business. I would never ask anybody who you dating. I wouldn't do that unless they wanted to make it public knowledge. But yeah, underneath the denim, the jeans, the denim jacket, and the shades, and the fact he's come out to two different types of entrance music. By the way, OC, I'm gonna make a request. Please start coming back out to Jane by Jefferson Starship. That became my favorite song, and I even use it as my This is gonna sound so freaking stupid. I use it as my alarm clock thing when it goes off. I hear that do 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 do. Yeah, I might have gotten that wrong, but hey, neither here nor there. So I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now, it is crazy to think that this guy, yeah, he can irritate the shit out of you, but that man has got game. I'm telling you. I am absolutely telling you, yeah, Orange Cassidy, my rest of the week. I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. I did it. Now, it's time for this woman to get serious here because I am feeling like I just need to do this. I really need to do this. If you watched SmackDown yesterday, and I did, you had a match happen in the main event, 3 stages of hell. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, undisputed title on the line. Normal match, false count anywhere, steel cage. The ending of this match, I did think this looked like it was going to go either way. I know there were people out there rooting for Drew McIntyre, but someone decided to show up, and let's just say he pissed me off. Yeah, hello, Jacob Fatu. You just made it to the Roast of Wrestlers segment, and I don't know if you're going to like it or not. I don't think you will. Because guess what, asshole? If it weren't for you punching Cody's lights out, Drew McIntyre would not be holding that belt right now. So basically, you are the reason why this man is not the champ, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to give massive credit to a Twitter follower of mine at We Want Cody _. He said, "You will pay for your war crimes, and yes, you will. You will pay." I'm sure Cody is going to basically obliterate your ass. Doesn't matter where you guys are. Doesn't matter where SmackDown is. It doesn't even matter if you guys are going to be facing each other at the Royal Rumble in the Rumble match, because I'm sure now that's what Cody's going to do in order to get his title back. Use go through every channel he can go through. I'm sure he's going to throw you out of the ring, and then you two are probably going to face each other. Probably one of 5, 6 people in Elimination Chamber. You're probably going to kill each other. Who the hell knows? Here's the thing. There were people who thought Cody was going to retain that title in this match so he could face up against your real life cousin, Roman Reigns, at WrestleMania. Run it back. One more match. Roman gets the belt back. I don't like that idea. And you, Jacob Fatu, just fucked everything up. Because I'm sure there were plans. And I know people are going to say, oh, but they talked about it, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me. Jacob Fatu, you could have, I don't know. I know you were out for a little bit with an injury, but you were great. You were a really good United States champion. Do I wish you had not been stuck in these continued bloodline storylines with Solo Sikoa and with 2 gentlemen who are the sons of a longtime friend of your family? Yeah, I'm talking Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, who are the adopted sons of Haku, who is a friend of the Anawahi family, the Fatu family. If you had feuded with other people like the Viper Randy Orton, like Cody like Drew McIntyre. Heck, I think your profile would have been lifted up like this, but I think because you're stuck in bloodline storylines, I mean, heck, yeah, it was great. You turned on Solo Sikoa and pushed him off the ladder at Money in the Bank. I get that. I totally get that. But you deciding to punch Cody Rhodes, let's face it, is it necessary? Maybe for you it was. But for those of us Cody fans, we saw it for what it was. It was bullshit. It was total bullshit. How much did Drew McIntyre pay you to clock Cody, huh? Tell me. Were you bribed into it? What, is Drew McIntyre blackmail material on you? What did he do? Threaten your life? Did he say, help me win my championship or I ruin you? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Your motto is all gas, no brakes. Well, guess what, dude? You put the brakes on to go after Cody. And now you've got a very pissed off American Nightmare coming after your ass. And guess what? He's gonna put the pedal to the metal and he's gonna do everything in his power to basically run your sorry ass over. Jacob Fatu, sir. You could have had it all. I mean, my God. Heck, I was even reading some tweets from people saying, oh my God, Jacob Fatu could be a world champion. Yeah, you could have been. You could have been. No, 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 no. Not at all. Jackass. Hold on. That's another sound effect I use. This is how I describe you. There, Jacob Fatu. This is who you are.
Clown show, clown show, clown show, clown show, clown.
Yes. Yes. That is exactly it. So, you, sir, I swear to God, no. No, 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 no. You made a mistake. And I know I need to do this right now.
RELAX. RE.
Thank you, Aaron Rodgers. But yeah. You, Jacob Fatu? You are, I swear to God, this is what you helping Drew out, helping Drew win the title. This is what you've just done. Yep. Great job there, pal. Oh boy. So Jacob Fatu, sorry for all of you. Please cover your children's eyes when I do this. There you go. I'm telling you that. Ugh. I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, that is going to be it for me. And you all can go back to your wild card football games now. Enjoy yourselves. So here you go. You can follow BTR on social media right here. You want to check out all our content. Like I said, the Saturday edition of the ETB Lounge is debuting tonight with Nick DiMartino. Go to youtube.com/ETB Network, and you can check out Gridiron Gurus tomorrow. So many, we got a really good programming coming up. Press Row. There's a lot. Gridiron Gridlock. I'm sure Trevor's going to preview the national championship game, which, I mean, holy crap! If you if you're rooting for either Miami or Indiana, go for it. So, but it should be a lot of fun. So check out youtube.com/ETB Network. Like I said, BTR on social media. And where you can follow me, social media, my Twitter handle's right under my name. And of course, with when you're on youtube.com/ETB Network, I have to put the banner up again. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, stay notified, hit the bell. That way you don't miss out on anything. So I'll see every one of you next week. Thank you. And see you next week in an episode of Between the Ropes. See you later.